Hello guys and welcome back. Today I'm going to bring you guys along with me on what looks like a typical maintenance session for this forest aquarium. I've had a lot of questions on, is it difficult to maintain a tank like this? Is it time consuming? So today we're going to cover all that. You're going to be able to see exactly what I do every single week. I also have to refill my bio CO2 system. I have some glassware to install. There's also some Purigen I'd like to add to my filter media. So there's a lot of things I'm going to be covering today. So let's crack on. So first things first, I'm going to start off really basic, just turn off my filter. If you guys are interested in how I reinforced this cabinet, if you're interested in the bio CO2 system, anything to do with this tank, scaping videos, whatever, I'm going to insert the playlist card just above so you guys can check that out. So before I do a water change, I'm going to go over some of the hardscapes, especially the rocks, with a hard bristle toothbrush. So I do like a little bit of algae in my tank. I think it looks natural, but this one isn't looking too good. So I'm just going to brush it off. So normally I would be doing a 50% water change every week on this tank. This week I am doing a bigger water change because I've actually medicated the water column because my fish have been sick. So yeah, this week, just a bigger one.
So very unfortunately, about a week ago, I had a power shortage. So the power completely went out. It went out for about a good 8 hours. It was snowing outside. The temperature inside the house dropped. It didn't drop to like alarming levels, but it dropped enough for the fish to be sick. So the fish actually have ick. So it's completely due to a temperature drop. So what is ick? It's just white spots on the fish. So again, I'm going to be treating this with medication for a couple of weeks and it should completely clear up. But yeah, very unfortunate.
So while the water is slowly filling up, small note, I only use tap water, no reverse osmosis, nothing fancy, just standard water from my city. So I'm just going to clean the glass. These are algae pads. They're from Seachem. They're a little bit like the magic sponges, and they're really good at getting off like this mineral deposit as well. Okay, so now I'm going to refill my tank. I do have to look into like a Python system, which is it screws onto your tap directly to refill the water inside your tank. I don't have that right now. I'm having difficulties finding one that adapts onto my tap. So for now, I'm using this kind of DIY system. So no judging. So I'm also going to add some prime to my water. So here I'm based in the Alps. There's no chlorine or chloramines in the water. So this is just for heavy metals, just in case. Okay, so to put the water back into the tank, I'm just using like a small pump head, which I fit onto the tube I was using earlier. I dump it in my bucket, plug it in, and then I can pump the water straight into my tank. And there is my DIY system. So this is not the best system, but it's still the most convenient one because obviously like lifting, I think it's like 4 of these heavy buckets over this tank while I'm water changing It is tiring, but also like accidents can happen and I don't want to drop anything or spill anything anywhere. So this is a safe and easy way to do it. So while the tank is slowly filling up, I'm going to be adding some Purigen to my filter media back here in my hang on the back filter. So Purigen, it removes organic waste from your aquariums. It also polishes the water like nothing else. So this is a really good product, again, from Seachem. So I'm going to add it to my filter. So I'm going to be putting the Purigen in the last block because I have space in this one. So you see it looks like this. So I do need to rinse it. I think I have to let it soak for like something like 10 minutes and then I'll add it in. But this is like, if you're having trouble having crystal clear water, when you have a lot of wood, a lot of organic matter in your tank, this is a very, very good product. I should probably not shake this around. Okay, so next up, I'm going to refill my bio CO2 system. This one I refill every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast it's consuming itself. So right now it is still going, but it's too low. Like I can see it with the drop checker. Obviously, I've done a water change, so it's going to take a while to adjust itself, but it is still very low. And because I'm installing some new glassware, I'm also changing the diffuser, so I'm going to take this one out. So these are the two things I'm going to be installing. So I have a new spiral diffuser and I have a U-tube. So both of these elements are made out of glass. This tube is just so when you actually hang your pipe on the edge of the tank, like it doesn't look strange. It really bends the pipe into a good shape and it makes things look nice and tidy.
So what I'm doing here is I'm roughly measuring where I'm going to be cutting the tubing in order to put the glass U into place, so then I'm sure of where it sits.
And last step, I'm just going to add my fertilizers. So I fertilize every 3 days, depending on how the tank is doing. It really depends. So here I'm using Flourish and I'm using Excel. And as I explained earlier, because the fish are still sick, this is the second round of treatment. I'm going to be using Asia 2000, so I'm just going to redose that. Okay, so I'm almost done. Last step is just to clean the glass, because nobody wants water stains on the glass. There you have it. This is what weekly maintenance looks like for me on this tank. So again, this can evolve over time as the aquarium matures more and more. I think I'm going to be able to stretch out the water changes to every 2 weeks-ish, but I have to see how it goes. So that's it for this week, guys. I will see you next week for a new video. Why do you always wait till I do the outro? This is like the 5th time I'm doing this goddamn intro. It's starting to piss me off.